Good morning from Windsor. I'm here with Karen Duckworth, who's a former Metropolitan Police officer and current very active member of the International Police Association, particularly Section UK. So Karen, thank you very much indeed for joining Policing TV here in Windsor.
Thank you very much.
Tell us something about what led you to join the International Police Association.
Well, when I left the police, ironically, I went into a training role, and through that training role I became introduced to a place called IPA Schloss Gimborn, which is an education centre in Germany that is run by the German police as well as the International Police Association. And through that connection I became more aware of the International Police Association as an organisation and what it did, what it had to offer, and I thought, oh yes, I'd love to be part of that, and I joined. And my only regret was that I hadn't known about it years before.
There's a certain irony in that, isn't there?
I know.
You've been a serving police officer for quite a while. You'd retired from the police, and only once, because of course the IPA is open to serving and retired officers and staff.
Absolutely, and it's just approaching its 75th year next year, and it's an organisation with its central tenet being friendship. And that's what the founding stone was essentially when it was started by Arthur Truth. But in the 75 years of its growth, it's become very much around professional development as well as the sort of friendship, cultural, social opportunities that come with being part of, you know, a really sizable organisation. It's about 350,000 members across the world. About 70 countries make up the IPA as a whole. So the opportunities for people to actually meet like-minded professionals, retired or serving, from whatever part of policing they've come, whether it's the wider police family or serving officers, is huge. And
there's a certain irony in the International Police Association, the IPA, being founded by Arthur Truth
in Lincolnshire,
when the knowledge of the IPA in the UK is not what it might be.
No, absolutely, and I think, and that's one of the reasons that as an NEC, as a National Executive Committee, we're really looking at how we can make the IPA more visible to serving officers, as well as those that have retired.
So you're very active on the International Police Association. Let's just make sure we don't get mown down by passing vehicles. And also we'll get out of the sunshine. So right at the moment, the sun right behind you. There we go. So very much in the shadow here of Windsor Castle. So you're very active now on the IPA, and part of what I know that you and fellow Section UK board members are looking to do is to increase the membership amongst Section UK, or amongst UK officers and staff.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, for any organisation, you know, you have to grow or you're going to wither, don't you? And for the IPA Section UK, visibility is key. And it's been something that we haven't been very good at, and I think trying to look forward into policing at what the challenges are, what the needs are, what can the IPA offer to officers that are going to enhance their career, enhance their professional development, enhance their personal development, what role can we play, and identifying that and reaching out into policing and making ourselves, you know, relatable and also relevant.
So what can the IPA do for in terms of friendship and in terms of professional and personal development?
Oh, in terms of friendship and sort of social and cultural type events, the IPA does a huge amount. There are friendship events going on all around the world all the time, which are advertised to members. The organisation as a whole has its own IPA Games, which is, it says on the tin really, a sporting event.
The equivalent of the Olympics, if you like.
Yes, of a fashion. But this year it's taking place in Romania, and each section is invited to send a team of participants, and those participants will be supported financially to take part. And I'll be leading the Section UK team. I shan't be participating, but I have to be leading them from an organising point of view in Brasov. So it's just events and activities that bring people together, and from the bringing together, you create friendships, you create relationships, whether they're professional relationships or otherwise, that may last you for years. And we're very good at that, and that's what we really want to kind of show.
Part of what I've picked up since was awarded an associate membership of the International Police Association, which I'm hugely grateful to you and your fellow Section UK members and officers for offering to me. One of the things I've picked up, though, is there really is a very strong sense of camaraderie. I was lucky enough to be in Athens just recently at the World Congress, where there were officers and staff across the International Police Association from those 70 or so countries.
Yeah.
And real sense of great friendship and camaraderie coming across there. One other thing that struck me in that time in Athens was that there were very few women represented there.
Yeah.
And although your lapel has just blown up, let's come back to the work that you and colleagues are doing on HERO and the She Is IPA initiative that you are very much championing at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Thank you for the opportunity, actually, just to mention this.
Let's, as we do that, let's head a little further down the road, because it's slightly windy here. There seems to be no traffic, so we're relatively safe crossing this road.
Must
and
be
hopefully
looking like Dougal now from the Magic Roundabout. But yes, the IPA is...
That's a fascinating reference to Dougal of the Magic Roundabout. It's many won't get the reference to
many
Dougal.
too young.
And I will leave it to others. Personally, I don't think you look remotely like Dougal, but anyway.
Thank you. Yeah, She Is IPA. So basically, it's very apparent that the IPA as an organisation is underrepresented with women. It's about 15%, when if you look at policing generally, it's about 35% women and increasing. And so there's a real push to make the IPA more visible to women, serving officers, the wider policing family, and try and redress that balance, because it's really important that we do have a balance of, well, all the protective characteristics really. This particular campaign is focusing on women, because you need balance, you need perspective, you need difference in order to be able to get a full picture when you're thinking about what direction do you want to take as an executive board or an organisation. It's no good just having one single narrow view.
And in policing more widely, policing is there to represent the public, and the public
absolutely.
is itself a cross-section. The more there is that diversity, the more the police is able to engage and have the support of the wider community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and for the IPA to be relevant, it has to reflect policing, and policing is changing, the landscape of policing is changing, and diversity, equality and inclusion is really, really important in just about every organisation, and it's important to us in the IPA, and that's something that's part of the new President's 4-year strategy. Project She Is IPA sits underneath that strategy as something that we've already got underway.
Let's press the button on this crossing here and wait for the crossing signal. I don't want to lose you to a traffic incident, to a vehicle incident.
To a transit, no. Yeah, so we're undertaking a lot of activity really to not just look forward and look out at women in policing, but also look at the women that are already in the IPA. There are some amazing women across those 70 sections who have done some amazing things in their careers, who have such a lot to bring to the table, and who are so interesting to listen to. And you know, we want to put a light on that really, and think about where we've come. You know, some of these women have been real trailblazers in their careers when it was really difficult for women in policing, and yet they've achieved some amazing things from which we can all learn. And we want to look at where we've come from and highlight that, as well as forward focus to where do we want to be. Where do we want to be in 4 or 5 years' time? Where does the IPA want to be? And what do we want to look like? What, you know, and I think that's really important, and She Is IPA is all about that.
Policing TV has been recording some fascinating conversations just recently with Mybrit Renebro, a
Yes.
colleague of yours from the IPA, leading on those conversations, including one just a few days ago
Kim Hill.
with Kim Hjorth,
Yes.
which we haven't yet, as we are recording this here in Windsor, yet published, but we will be doing very, very shortly. So let me take this opportunity to wish you and colleagues all the very best with that She Is
Thank you,
IPA
Bernard. That's
initiative.